This is the guy who was on an inpatient ward, in the NHS, which, we'd call them acute wards. This particular guy, he'd been there for a very long time, and was struggling to be discharged, but also because of his belief of who he was, there was just a constant strife because this patient would say, "Oh, my name's Jesus," and then the staff would say, "This is not his real name." "Oh, no, you're not. Your name's John." So to try and take a different stance, I was kind of reading the Jungian stuff at the time. I borrowed from that, and I sat down and I said to this person, "Well, okay, come in, Jesus, sit down. How are you?" And the instant, even that small sentence, the change in this man's demeanor was instantaneous. And we talked. I didn't talk about health at all. I talked about what it felt like to be Jesus. It was nearly Christmas, so what that was like for him. I spoke about the Bible. I spoke about verses that meant something to him. Then we built up this therapeutic relationship. And then there was a space for me saying, "I wonder if it might be a good idea to take your diabetic medication because I'm a bit worried about this." There was more of a working with. And eventually, I think this approach let us move towards a place where we planned a discharge that let this man go and live his life outside the hospital in a way that wasn't constantly fighting. It wasn't constantly kind of butting up against mental health services in general.